Good afternoon, this is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding, here to do a brief summary about FBAR fines and penalties. Are you going to get hit with major penalties? Can you avoid them? Can you minimize them? Unfortunately, it's tax season. FBARs are coming due in October, so there's a lot of bad information, a lot of fear-mongering. Let's go through it. First things first. Who has to file the FBAR? From an individual standpoint, it's U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents, foreign nationals who meet the substantial presence test. It's not just bank accounts, it's also investment accounts, life insurance policies, pension plans, and whether you live in the U.S. or abroad, you're supposed to file it. There may be some exceptions under the treaty exception. There was a recent case, but the IRS still takes the position that you have to file it. Penalties. So FBAR penalties can be broken down into two categories. One of them has two categories to it, two subcategories. So civil FBAR penalties are typically the way they're going to go. You've got civil non-willful penalties. That's how most people will get penalized. It's $10,000 per form per year, up to 6 years. Mitigation is possible. That $10,000 adjusts for inflation, so currently it's $15,000 plus. Based on a 2023 Supreme Court case, the IRS can no longer penalize you per account. It's per form. Civil willful FBAR penalties are more complicated than that. It's not just based on the form. It's 50% maximum value of the unreported accounts at any time during the year. So if your account's artificially high because maybe you sold some property or assets and parked some cash into the account, that could result in some significant penalties. Mitigation is much harder, especially if you look through the Internal Revenue Manual. In general, the agents don't have much leeway like they did back in the day, although mitigation is still possible, not likely. There's also criminal FBAR penalties. Those are rare. It's not because your grandma left you an account, you didn't know about it, or even civil willful if it was reckless disregard or willful blindness. For criminal penalties, they got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Typically, it's going to involve other issues like money laundering, tax fraud, tax evasion, things like that. So you're going to pay large fines and penalties. If you go online, it makes it sound like you're going to pay $1 trillion and you're going to get locked up forever, but that's not how it works. Typically, the penalties, like I said, are going to be civil, non-willful. If you get assessed penalties before you have a chance to do offshore disclosure, you have a chance to appeal it. You may not get penalties. You might get a warning letter. But the penalties are typically going to be civil and non-willful. They could be significant, depending on how much money you have and how you get assessed the penalties, but it's not typically going to be willful. You have an opportunity to mitigate penalties. Sometimes the agent will mitigate it if you're in appeals. If you get a pre-assessment notice, you may have an opportunity to mitigate it, but there is a chance, it's a higher chance than if it's willful. For taxpayers who have not been penalized yet, offshore disclosure, there's various programs available to assist them with getting into compliance to avoid or minimize penalties. For taxpayers who are willful, they would do the voluntary disclosure program, VDP. For taxpayers who are non-willful, there's various opportunities for them. There's the streamlined procedures, there's delinquency procedures, and there's reasonable cause. Depending on which one you qualify for, you may have minimized penalties, you may have a penalty waiver altogether. We have a ton of free information available on our main website and our sub-websites. You can always reach out and schedule a reduced fee initial consultation if it's appropriate to your matter and it's something that we handle here. Again, my name is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.